Feeling is the Secret by Nevvile Goddard is about the secrets to manifesting all of your desires. If you can follow this process correctly, you can create any life that you desire, regardless of your external circumstances. Nevvile Goddard encourages you not to just believe what he says, but to try it out for yourself. So let us begin. The first thing we have to come to understand is something called the law of consciousness. And this is another way of saying the law of unity or the law of one. And this states all is consciousness. Consciousness is the only thing that is. When you break reality down to its fundamental parts, there are only two things that exist from the moment you are born until the moment that you die. And these two things are that there is an infinite array of changing experiences upon the backdrop of an unchanging awareness. This unchanging awareness is consciousness. It is the divine essence of God that you are, the limitless and infinite and eternal power of creation. It is beyond space and time. It is beyond separation. It is non-dual. And these infinitely changing experiences are also consciousness, except for there is one difference. It is the dynamic play of consciousness between infinite energy and zero or infinite nothingness. And this infinite energy is slowed down all the way to zero and in between all of reality is manifested. To put it simply, we are all one consciousness experiencing itself through an infinite array of different forms. We are the infinite experiencing itself through limitation. We are the eternal experiencing itself through the temporary. Now let me ask you this. What kind of power does the eternal have over the temporary? What kind of power does the infinite have over the limited? In truth, everything in existence is an extension of the same one source that you are, which means you have the power to change reality at the quantum level. You may remember the miracles of Jesus Christ. How could he perform these miracles? It was because he was the perfect vessel for God, that this infinite power of creation could flow through him without resistance. And so therefore, he had complete control and power over the nature of reality. And that by thought alone, he could will things into existence. We all have this power, but because of our identity, because of our beliefs, because of our assumptions, we separate ourselves from our God power. And it is not until you recognize your God power that you can claim authority over it. When consciousness is in a state of duality, it can be separated into two parts, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the masculine aspect that selects, that chooses. That is where our sense of individuality and free will emerges. Through our conscious mind, we choose what we focus our attention on, and we think thoughts. The subconscious mind, however, is the female aspect. It receives and is non-selective. Whatever the subconscious receives, it accepts as fact. And whatever it receives, it will give expression to that in the external world. You see, the conscious mind communicates in symbols and patterns, and the subconscious mind communicates in feelings and emotions. So whenever you have a strong feeling or emotion about something, your subconscious takes a snapshot, and in that moment it interprets the pattern of your experience and the emotion that is associated with that pattern. And it stores that information for later. The process of reality creation is to impregnate the subconscious mind with the conscious mind. And whatever information is stored within gets filtered by this infinite power of consciousness, the ultimate force of creation, and that is how reality is manifested. It's not difficult to see how reality is being filtered through our minds at all times. So whatever information is in here is getting filtered and projected out onto the world, and that is what we experience. We do not experience reality as it is. We experience reality as we are. The patterns that we experience are the information, and our emotions are like the gravity that pulls that information down and stores it into our subconscious. If you have a negative feeling about something, you will create a negative association with that thing, whether it's just a thought or an experience that you have. For instance, if you have negative feelings about money, you have a negative relationship with money, and therefore you always experience money problems, you struggle with money, and you live in a state of scarcity and lack. That is exactly how people become and stay poor. They have impressed their subconscious mind with negative associations about money. But if you begin to change the feelings that you have around money, then your relationship with money changes, and therefore you enter into a state where you no longer have money problems. Money can flow to you easily. This is how you attract money into your life. And the same goes for, let's say, a romantic relationship. If you have had negative romantic relationships in the past, you will have perhaps a negative association in being in relationships. You see people who get married and divorced over and over again, or people who are always getting in the same negative toxic relationships. Why is this? It's because they have impressed upon their mind negative associations with relationships. And so they attract to themselves the same situation over and over again. Because if you have been in a relationship where you have been betrayed or it didn't work out very well, deep down you will have a fear and insecurity that, oh my gosh, I hope this doesn't happen again. And that fear and insecurity will influence your thoughts, it will influence your body language, it will influence the words that you speak, and the other person will pick up on that energy, and you will repulse them, and you will cause them to act in certain ways towards you that reaffirm what you already believe within, what your subconscious knows, the information that has been imprinted upon your subconscious through your feelings. But if you change your attitude, you change your thoughts, you change your feelings about relationships, to say, well, I am not concerned with the outcome. I am open to all experiences. In fact, I expect the best. And if it works out, great, and if it doesn't work out, amazing. And so what you will find is that your relationships will flow more easily, and you will not create the same problems as before, because you are operating from a more attractive state, a state of abundance, a state of freedom. Whereas if you operate from a state of lack and scarcity, and you are a slave to fear, then you will only experience circumstances that reinforce that fear, that scarcity, that insecurity. So you must be careful what thoughts, what feelings you choose to entertain, because this is how you have been creating your reality. If you wish to bring something into your reality, you must believe that it is already yours now. If you have a thought that says, I will do this, or I will have this or that, that is reaffirming in this moment now that you are in a state of lack. You do not have what you want. What you want is in the future. And so you create separation between what you want and yourself. Therefore, you push it away. You impress upon the subconscious a state of lack and will reinforce this reality. But if you say, all I desire is already mine, then you attract what you want, because you impress upon the subconscious that it is already yours. And so reality will begin conforming and changing to reflect this inner state. If you feel that what you want is already yours, you will draw that reality into you. That is the law of attraction. But you must be wary of the feelings that you have associated to certain affirmations. For instance, if you say, well, I am a billionaire, you can say that all day. But if you do not feel like a billionaire, you will reaffirm that you are not one. the feeling is the dominant factor in this equation. So you could be doing more harm than good by repeating these affirmations. It is important to recognize how your feelings respond to the affirmations that you speak, and you must rephrase them or put them in a way in which you can believe and accept. If you do not feel like a billionaire, you will impress upon the subconscious that you are not one. But if you say, for instance, well, I am abundance, and you focus on the abundance that you already have in your life, then that abundance will grow because you can believe it and you can feel it. If you feel disharmony between your thought and your feelings, then choose a different thought or affirmation. Don't try and force yourself to believe something that you know is not true, because that will only create suffering and struggle. Forcing this does not work. Rather, begin with something that is believable and work your way up to things that are greater. In addition to saying affirmations, you can also visualize. As we have discussed, there is only one reality, so your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is in your imagination and what is true in the outer world. So you can visualize yourself living your dream life and believe that it is true in the moment. When you visualize, your attention is taken away from the external world and is focused in your imagination. And so whatever you imagine, think of like a dream. When you are in the dream, you believe that what is happening is true, and it is only when you wake up do you realize it was only a dream. So too, when you visualize and imagine yourself to be living the life that you want, your subconscious will believe that this is the true reality. And if you can feel that you are living that life now, you impress upon the subconscious that that is the life that you are living, and your outer reality will change to reflect this new impression. We must become acutely aware of our thoughts and feelings on a daily basis, and this is how we begin consciously creating our reality, by choosing not to focus or pay attention to negative thoughts, to negative beliefs. The subconscious is impersonal. It doesn't matter if you impress something that is good or something that is bad. Once it has been impressed, you will be forced to experience it in the world until you overwrite that impression with a stronger emotion. As it has been said, the only word that God knows is yes. So if you say, oh, I have so many problems. Yes, you do have so many problems. I'm struggling so hard and I never have any money. Yes, you are struggling, and yes, you never have money. But if you say, life always provides me with everything that I need, yes, this will be true. If you say, all of my desires are already mine, this will be true. The evidence of your external circumstances are completely irrelevant, because your current reality is nothing but a reflection of your past thoughts, actions, and feelings. Once you understand your power as a conscious creator, once you understand that you have the infinite and eternal power of creation within you, then it no longer matters what the evidence is, because you become at the cause of your reality. You are not at the effect. The moment you change the thoughts and feelings that you choose to entertain is the moment that life will begin reflecting to you the nature of the new thoughts and feelings. It is not your responsibility to understand how your desires will be achieved. Your only purpose is to focus on what you want and believe that it is already yours now, to enter into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. If you become irritated and frustrated that what you want is not yours yet, you will begin impressing upon the subconscious the state of lack, and you will begin pushing what you want further and further away from you. So trust and have faith that all you desire is already making its way to you. Ask, believe, receive. The divine intelligence of creation will begin shaping reality to bring you to what you want, but it might not always be in the ways that you expect. So in order to receive, we have to let go of the outcome. We have to allow things to unfold as they do, without strong expectations of how we are going to achieve what we want. So do not assume that what you want can only be achieved through this way or that way. One must be capable of managing one's thoughts and emotions regardless of their external circumstances. If you are constantly reacting to your environment, you are at the effect of your life and not at the cause, and you will live as a slave. But once you understand your true power, your external circumstances are irrelevant, because you are the creator of your reality. But it is only those who do not know their power who have no power. Most people only focus on the reality that they are currently experiencing, and so they only continue creating a life of the same old things. And most often, they are negative. Most people are not living a life that they desire because they are a slave to their circumstances, because of their unconsciousness, their ignorance of their true power. They see bills, scarcity, problems, and struggles, and so they continue reinforcing a life full of these things. But if you are able to ignore the external reality, to suspend disbelief, and look within, the external circumstances become irrelevant. You learn how to create your reality not by working and slaving away in the world, but simply by managing your thoughts and your emotions. The more you feel and assume that all you want is already yours, the more the external reality will begin reflecting this belief. In the waking state, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind become separated. The subconscious is always awake. It's always recording our feelings. But as we go into sleep, the conscious mind merges back into the subconscious mind, and a doorway opens in which we can easily impress new information upon the subconscious and change our reality. In a state akin to sleep, one communicates with the divine power hidden within the subconscious. This is the power of prayer and meditation. Prayer is the act of communicating with this divine power. As Christ said, when you pray for something, believe that it is yours and you will have it. Meditation is the practice of being able to consciously access these deeper states of consciousness. Whatever is in your conscious mind as you fall asleep will determine your life in the waking state. Do not ruminate on failures or mistakes before bed. Do not dread or have fear for tomorrow, but only allow good thoughts of all that you desire. You never get what you want, you only get what you are. When you go to sleep, ask yourself, how would I feel if I had all that I desired? Develop unwavering focus and attention on the feeling of the wish fulfilled, that you already have what you want right here, right now, and fall asleep to this feeling. Make a practice every night to go to sleep and impress upon the subconscious all that you desired, and be excited to know that you are now consciously creating any life that you desire. Evidence of your desires will only come after you impress them upon the subconscious, not before. Do not wait for your circumstances to change, but consciously change your circumstances by impressing new circumstances upon the subconscious mind. You are not limited to your current reality or to your past experiences. Only your ability to feel as though what you want is already yours will determine how quickly and how easily you can change your reality. Remember that consciousness is infinite potential. It is eternal. It is all powerful. All things are possible. Only your own limiting beliefs will keep you from experiencing all that you desire. As within, so without. Life is a reflection of what is within us. Your outer reality is but a reflection of what you believe the world to be. You are but a reflection of your beliefs about yourself. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions shape the world you experience. Change your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions, and you change the world. You can choose to live in a cruel world where you're always struggling and there's always problems, or you can choose to believe that you exist in a kind and generous world where all of your desires can come to you freely and easily. Once you understand your power, you cannot fail. It may take some practice, but you will know how to create any life that you desire. All that is required is that you direct this infinite potential within you, this infinite power of creation, in the ways that you want and away from what you don't desire. And that is done by thinking and imagining what you desire and evoking the feeling that what you want is already yours. Your thoughts and feelings as you go to sleep are the seeds that will bear fruit in the waking state. Whether good or bad, your subconscious will be forced to express these thoughts and feelings in the waking state the next day and into the future. So be sure to only go to sleep feeling satisfied and good by thinking good thoughts and visualizing all that you desire, and falling asleep to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When you pray at night, do not pray for this or that, but be thankful for already receiving all that you desire. You only need to believe that what you pray for is already yours. Not that it will be yours in the future, but that it is yours now. Think of ordering something off of Amazon. When you click the order, that thing is already yours. It just takes some time to arrive at your doorstep. But when you are afraid or in doubt, it's like canceling the order and sending it back to where it came from. Do not concern yourself if it seems that God has not yet answered your prayers. Believe that your prayers have been answered, and they will. But if you get frustrated and irritated that what you want is not right in front of you, you will push what you want away. And that is how people get cut off from their blessings. Think of the power of God. What is our silly desire to God when God can create and destroy the universe in an instant? It is our lack of faith that cuts us off from our blessings. You must simply recognize the power of the Absolute, the power that is already within you right now. No force in the entire universe has any power over you, because you get to always choose your attitude, your thoughts, and the way you respond to life. Whatever the dominant feeling you have, that will prevail. That will be what impresses the subconscious. If your feeling is in opposition to what you want, well, then the opposite of what you want will be impressed upon the subconscious. That is why feeling is the secret, because it doesn't matter what affirmations you repeat in your head. If your feelings are not in alignment with these thoughts, you impress upon the subconscious and reinforce the opposite of what you wanted. That is why it is key to carefully monitor the way your feelings respond to the affirmations and the thoughts in your mind. If you say, "I am confident," but you don't feel confident, you will become less confident. But if you say something like, "Well, I become more confident each and every day," this is more believable, and your feelings might be in more alignment with this way of phrasing the words. Over time, you may become more confident, and when you say, "I am confident," your feelings are now aligned with that truth. You can also visualize yourself being more confident, and it is easier to believe that it is true, because in that moment, in that visualization, you are actually living that experience, and you can feel it to be as fact. A state akin to sleep is a state of deep relaxation where you have the power to move your eyes or open them, but you have no desire to do so. We must reach this passive, deeply relaxed state if we wish to impress upon the subconscious the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When you enter this state, the external material world begins to fade away, and you can become immersed in thought and imagination. When you reach this state, which you have no desire to move or shift your body, a state of deep and comfortable rest and relaxation, imagine here that you have realized your desire. Evoke the feeling of the wish fulfilled and nothing more. When you can fall asleep to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you will begin to see evidence in your outer world in the waking state of the information in which you have impressed your subconscious with. The more you can practice this, the easier it becomes, and the more powerful of a creator you can be. As Nevvile Goddard recommended, don't just believe these words, but try it out for yourself and see what kind of life you can create for yourself.